Secret Eftpos fees. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. Now a viewer sent me this article, photographed it on their phone and sent it to me, and I thought it's definitely something we should all talk about and more people need to be made aware because, we've got a cash transaction ban coming in. And I know the government tells us our little plebeian concerns aren't that important and they need to talk to the casino. But, because we all use electronic payments, they need to keep us in that system to stop the black market economy of, a tradie, maybe not counting all his GST. It's just terrible. But this is concerning. This is similar to a transaction tax, which everyone thinks sounds good and simplified. It can add up really quick. Really, really quick. So let's have a look. Aussies are being hit with a sneaky fee when they pay for Eftpos. The Sunday Herald Sun can reveal shops are charging as much as 1.75% extra on every transaction, the equivalent of 6 cents for a $3.50 cup of coffee, or 43 cents for a $25 meal. Customers often have no idea they're being stung, with fees mounting as they favor cards for everyday purchases over cash. Now, let me know in the comments, guys, how often do you use cash for payments? How often do you actually get served by a staff member at a checkout these days? I mean, these are the simple jobs that are getting replaced. But when you actually do get served by a staff member, hand them some cash, and they struggle with counting the change out. I remember one of my first ever jobs was a service cashier, not a checkout chick, service cashier at Woolworths. And we were trained in the process of how to count out the change. And I noticed no one ever does that anymore now. Not that I spent cash often. They will also look at you funny if you pull out a $50 note to pay for your 7-Eleven $1 coffee, but that's just me. You gotta like that Steiner coffee. So the slug comes as shoppers already face other surcharges for paying with a credit or debit card, including via tap and go. It means there is now often no escape from fees if they're paying by card. Well, there you go. Another reason to keep cash and to not go cashless, because this is a huge amount of money in potential fees. Consumer Action Law Center Chief Executive Officer Jared Brody told the Sunday Herald Sun, while surcharges might seem small, they added up over the long run. Australians make around 2 billion Eftpos transactions alone each year, worth more than $130 billion. I can certainly understand people feeling it's unfair because they can't avoid the charges, Mr. Brody said. Well, yes, it certainly does feel unfair if you can't avoid the charges. Anyone who sees surcharges that are high should complain to the ACCC. The Sunday Herald Sun found multiple stores charging customers payment processing fees when they have hit savings on check or card terminals. One cafe charged 1.75%. And I will enter so you can see that portion of the article there. And another 1.65%. Each displayed a list of charges at the counter. Well, there you go. I mean, they're making people publicly aware of it, and now it looks like they are passing costs back on to their customers. This is what always happens. Costs are pushed on to the consumer. When people are saying, "Oh, we need to raise the minimum wage. It'll make it better for everyone." All those costs get pushed on to the consumer, so it increases the cost of services. It's not going to work. It's not as simple as people think. And here we go. We're seeing a cost is being pushed back on. Choice spokeswoman Erin Turner says businesses were only allowed to surcharge what it cost them to accept credit and debit cards. The cost to businesses to accept Eftpos and debit payments are very low, she said. Businesses that charge high and unfair fees leave customers paying hundreds of dollars a year more than they should. Under the law, retailers can incorporate the costs of providing card payment into the price of products or charge a separate fee. Surcharges of no more than 1% are typically regarded as fair, with big fines in place for shops that overcharge. I mean, think about that, even just a 1% surcharge for that. But you've also got to understand, you know, providing that service, the electricity of it, hiring the equipment. Yeah. Eftpos spokesman Warwick Ponder said, "We encourage merchants not to surcharge for Eftpos transactions, but in the end it's all a matter for the merchant and their customers." Well, yes, that's the thing. They're encouraging people not to pass on that transaction charge, but it still exists. It still exists, and it's a burden that business has to bear. I mean, when you're running a small business, you need to look at every opportunity you can to keep cash flow coming in. And as opposed to cash, you know, with Eftpos as well, there's other costs associated with it. There are other advantages too. You don't need to go to a bank and all those things, so I guess that all adds up as well. If customers are concerned that a merchant is surcharging more than it costs them to accept the transaction, they should report the merchant to the ACCC, he said. I remember there was a local milk bar that would charge you 50 cents. There's lots of places that would just charge you a flat 50 cents for using Eftpos. I remember that. You know, that probably isn't allowed. Eftpos remains committed to be a low-cost payments network, and our wholesale rates reflect this. I mean, that's the thing. Remember, when you're using Eftpos, you're incurring a charge. Maybe they should give more discounts for cash. Do you use cash when you're shopping? I mean, I'm tap and pay, not that I shop that much. One of the advantages of only going shopping once a month is that you save significant costs in all those little purchases that just appear and add up. But I mean, here you go. We've got potential billions of dollars in revenue that, you know, could be going to these organizations. This is probably why there is a big push in the banking sector, in the accounting sector, to support the cash transaction limit, because they want to, and we noticed in that the document we were talking about, they want to shift consumer behavior and habit away from cash to using a cashless system, because then they can charge you for it. Then there can be transaction fees. Then there can be ongoing costs that add up over time. And this is why the whole argument of flat transaction tax can be very concerning. Because think about this. Every time you go to the shop, you pay a transaction tax. Boom, boom, boom. Every time you transfer money, you pay a transaction tax. Every time you make a share trade, you pay a transaction tax. FX trade. That will destroy liquidity in our stock markets. And, you know, you need to have liquidity in it. The more liquidity you have, if you're trying to sell anything on a dead market, and you can experience that if you go into some of the weird altcoins in crypto, or you get a free, airdrop, and you try and convert it to something worth money, it can be quite slow in a low liquidity market. So that's the issue with it here, where if you put these transaction fees in everything, it can have unintended and wider consequences. So guys, where do you think this is all going to head? Do you agree with businesses being allowed to charge Eftpos transactions? Are you aware of Eftpos transactions? How often do you use Eftpos? Are you an Eftpos user? Are you a cash user? I'm thinking it might be worth trying a challenge of doing a month of no cash, or a month of simply cash, and no Eftpos or card transactions. I think it'd probably be good. Be a challenge. Or maybe start with a week. Start with a week of doing it. You know, taking a bunch of cash out while you still can, guys. While you still can. So I'd like to thank my viewer who sent me this article. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me know your comments and takes of this, perspective in the comments. Are you in a business? Do you pass these charges on to your customers? Do they get annoyed with you? Honestly, in my game, I'm just happy to get paid. I'm even happy to get paid on time. So, the idea of charging a little 2%, 1% here, yeah, I guess for small amounts, but that could be their profit margin, guys, on a cup of coffee. Oh, no, probably not. Coffee's quite profitable. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy this content and would like to see more, I have a Patreon and Subscribe Star where you can help support. I also have affiliate links, or you could simply share the channel and help us grow. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.